Narayana. Yes, respected friends, salutations. Welcome. Let us together pray to the Parabrahma Paramatma, to the Lord, to the Guru Parampara, to Shruti Mata, to bless us all the time in all our noble endeavors. As a human being, these five, six, seven things we have to involve in, we can't avoid. First is we have to manage and master our faculties. No way, we can't let them loose. Second is we have to manage, master our own nature or prakriti. We can't let it also loose. Third, we have to do all our outer, all sorts of obligations. The relational, domestic, social, professional, whichever are there, sin of omission will come to us if we don't do them. We also have to face the inevitable, what do you say, the chasing of the past in the present coming to us in various forms of, the pairs of opposite experiences giving us sukha and dukkha. So the faculty management, the prakriti management, the obligational management, facing all the past coming to us in the present continuously. Along with all these four, we have to do our spirituality also. Again, in that, the source of spiritual guidance, our respect, reverence or services that are to be done, that you call him guru or whatever, towards that one. It is inevitable. Then gathering and retaining all the information, making it as knowledge. Sixth one. Last but not the least, we have to engage consciously in whatever the things we call them as sadhanas in doing them. In that avoidance of the things which take us away from the truth, involving in those things which take us towards the truth. So many will be there as sadhana time and again. This thing also we have to do. Seventh, last but not least is when will the final result of revelation will happen? Consciously we have to wait. For every of the human being, the first four are inevitable. And the one who becomes sadhaka, the next four are inevitable. First four plus next four. Faculty management, nature management, obligational management, going through the results of the past. They are common to the samsari and sadhaka. साधक में जो एक्स्ट्रा होते हैं, that is taking up spiritual path in which he'll have to manage his respectful reverential relation with the source of guidance, then the gathering of all the information convert into knowledge, then inevitably how much ever tough it may be, we have to keep on doing the due sadhanas. Sadhanas become very clear and there's no ambiguity. As completely, as thoroughly, as quickly, as perfectly we do, so quickly, completely, perfectly, the result comes. Delay or any of the malpractices or, you know, not following the sadhana exactly is the one which delays the result also. So, knowing the sadhana the best way, with best of the attitude, intention, the one who does sadhana in the best manner, for him, quickly, best way, the siddhi, the result of Bhagavad Anumati comes. Until that, while doing what's to be done. Just have patience. And in the source of spiritual guidance, the Guru comes, the Shastra comes, the Lord Ishtadevata comes, other devatas come who have different portfolios, and their worship. Our worship to them, our prayers to them, our remembrance of them, our gratitudes to them, all of them are included in it. So we can call this as Manava Jivana Sadhana Ashtakam. We have to go through. And consciously we can develop the attitude of challenge, attitude of, it is for my own evolution, bhavana, then that makes the things easier done. Because anything we don't love or like, how much or great it may be, we don't enjoy doing it. When we like it or love something, even the worst it may be, we'll be able to do it better, and while doing, we can really cherish. One recommendation for all of us is, even while doing the toughest of spiritual sadhanas, let us not suffer emotionally. Balance that mind. How you mind balance it? Your own choice. Hundreds of upayas are there. One of the best is when the mind says, no, I don't want to do sadhana. I want something else. Tell that mind, definitely you will do what you want. But right now, give me 1 hour permission. Let me go to class. In this way, friending our mind, befriending our own mind, we can talk to the mind and tell it that that thing we will do little later. Let us do this. Then the mind cooperates. Then joyfully you do. Then what mind wants later on, if it reminds us, we'll do that. And mind wants so many things. Chai piyo, coffee piyo, ye karo, wo karo, घर का साफ सुथरा करो. Some of them are good things the mind proposes. Some are bhoga sambandhi. It is, let's go for walking, let's do an exercise, let us have 1 more hour of sleep. कितने सारे हजारों मन में आते. Don't fight with the mind. It's a ठीक है, you need it, I know. But this also is important. This is the time. The world can't change for me. I have to mold according to the world. Oh dear mind. I'm not denying or rejecting what you want. Definitely we'll do exercise. But after the class. Definitely we'll have a nap. But after the class. Definitely we'll go for a jog walk. Zarur, before or after. Like that, we should start doing even minimum things, never mind. But that should give us the joy of doing. Too much we plan, which is beyond our capacity. We don't achieve that, then the regrets, guilts will be there. Sadness will be there. Instead of that, जितना कर सकते हो उतना करो. अच्छी तरह से करो. So from not doing to the doing, from the doing to doing well. If we can shift ourselves, then we are on the path. So may we all that way be blessed by all these noble understandings, convictions, and as said in the Sadhana Ashtakam, may we become experts in doing all of them. Spend the life only for that. Other than it, there is nothing worthy in this world for us to get hooked on to, for us to get lost in by giving undue importance just because of some emotional upsurge, just because of some misguidance from someone. अब कोई भी मिसगाइड नहीं करना हमको. We are self sufficient. So let us enjoy our today also, the last day of this month, with our Aitareya Adhyanam, Yoga Darshana Adhyanam, Mundaka Adhyanam, which is going on so wonderful. Yoga Darshana Gita, then our Bhagavatam. Though we wanted to conclude yesterday that Chiyasima chapter, but the topic was so beautiful. The 5 sadhanas indicated by this great Shrutadeva. So consuming it was, we just reveled in it. So too in the Ramayana Gadha, we will see today the subsequent portion of Sri Rama's whole Avatara Vishaya, and then how Rama is ruling the Rajyam, Sita Parityaga, that will come tomorrow. So, in this way, every day, let us be touch with Lord Krishna through Bhagavatam, with Rama through Adhyatma Ramayanam, and through Yoga Darshana with the Yoga Acharyas and our job of Chitta Vritti Nirodha, and through the Upanishad Adhyanam. Let us be in touch with our essential nature, the Brahman. So, to the guidance, beautiful of Gita ji. Today we will conclude 11th chapter. Tomorrow onwards, Bhakti Yoga will start. Om. 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं भवयेव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदोक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्रज्ञानानां साधनानां योगानां च पुनरुत्थानजागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगति विश्वशान्तिकल्याणेकता पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठितानां सदा सर्वदा बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्ननिर्मूलनद्वारा शक्तिसाधना संपदा सानुकूल्यता प्राप्तिद्वारा धर्मसंस्थापनकार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनस्य प्रयत्नं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे आदौ पारायणम् ॐ मनस्तापतपश्शान्त्यै यस्य पादनकच्छटां शरच्चन्द्रनिभाभाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम् ॐ अथ ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेयोपनिषद प्रथमोऽध्यायः प्रथमः खण्डः ॐ शान्तिमन्त्रः वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ आत्मा वा इदमेक एवाग्र आसीत् नान्यत् किञ्चन मिषत स ईक्षत लोकान्नुसृजा इति स इमान् लोकान् असृजत अम्भो मरीचिर्मरम् आपः अधः अम्भः परेण दिवं द्यौः प्रतिष्ठा अन्तरिक्षम् द्यौः प्रतिष्ठा अन्तरिक्षं मरीचयः पृथ्वीमरः या अधस्तादता आपः स ईक्षते मेनुलोकाः लोकपालान्नुसृजा इति सः अद्भ्यः एव पुरुषं समुद्धृत्य अमूर्छयत् तम् अभ्यदभत तस्याभिदप्तस्य मुखं निरभिद्यत यथा अंडं मुखात् वाग् वाचः अग्निः नासिके निरभिद्येतां नासिकाभ्यां प्राणः प्राणाद्वायुः अक्षिणी निरभिद्येताम् अक्षिभ्यां चक्षुः चक्षुषः आदित्यः कर्णौ निरभिद्येतां कर्णाभ्यां श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रात् दिशः त्वं निरभिद्यत तचो लोमानि लोमस्य ओषधिवनस्पतयः हृदयं निरभिद्यत हृदयान्मनः मनसः चन्द्रमाः नाभिर्निरभिद्यत नाभ्यापानः अपानान् मृत्युः शिश्नं निरभिद्यत शिश्नाद्रेतः रेतस आपः ओम शांति शांति शांति. Friends, in this most beautiful enchanting Aitareya Upanishad of Rigveda, we started studying it with Bhashyam, Anubandha Bhashyam. We have not seen it. One part we saw regarding the whole topic itself, the discussion between Purvapakshi Siddhanti. Siddhanti says, whole topic regarding karma, karma phala, concluded by the third chapter of this Aitareya Aranyaka, in which variety of karma upasanas are taught, and the ultimate goal to be reached is the Hiranyagarbha sthiti. After that, from the fourth chapter onwards, the topic is the Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya. Then the Purvapakshi raises the question. In this, lot of activities are there of creation, that this. Therefore, it is not about the Parabrahma, it is about the Hiranyagarbha only continuing. That will be the objection of the Purvapakshi. Siddhanti will answer it and convince him. Purvapakshi comes with the second question. That means what? With karma only we have to reach to that accepted Brahma Tattva, can't be without karma. Siddhanti will exhaustively answer, no, 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 you can never have even the trace of need or presence of karma in the process of Atma Vidya and Moksha. That will be exhaustively, detailedly explained. It will be discussed and understood. They are all very sublime internal maturities en route to the discovery of the most subtle self. Then the third one, the Purvapakshi raises is okay, but even Grahasthas can do the Brahmajnana, no need of becoming or taking up sannyasa. So there, basically, Siddhanta Drushti say, the Siddhanti will reject that thought and says that only the sannyasi has adhikara for moksha. But practically, then seeing there are so many Rishi Munis, they are in the Grahastha ashrama, but they have experienced the truth. So then, having told the Siddhanta without compromise, then he says, as per Siddhanta, the sannyasi alone can have Brahmanubhuti, but these some exceptions which you are talking about, of them saints, like even kings like Janaka, being in Grahastha, they have achieved Brahman, means their inner heart is of that highest level as equivalent to a sannyas. Therefore, they are deserved qualified for Brahmanubhuti and Moksha. Therefore, they have not realized because they are Grahastha, they are not realized because they are Raja. They have realized because their heart was as pure and as immaculate as qualified like a sannyas. So those so few exceptions should not be generalized. Exceptions are there, and that exception you can be. Never the Siddhanti rejects. But even though there one or two alternatives are there, Siddhanta is always Siddhanta only. We should never realize, be little or try to cancel the Siddhanta for one or two expressions, one or two exceptions. Is it not? Like, you have to hold the handle when you are riding two-wheeler bike. No, one or two exceptions are there who have practiced in that, वो हाथ छोड़कर चलाएगा. उसने सीखा है, he has trained himself. No, that exceptional thing cannot be generalized that therefore everybody can or should leave the hands from the handle and drive the vehicle. मर ही जाएंगे वो. Is it not? Like that, so many thousands of examples we can give. So in that, what you say, Sambandha Bhashya, these things with lot of logics explained to us, which are so very essential if we can really understand to have that clarity of, therefore, what I have to prepare myself in, if I am true and sincere in my pursuit of Brahma Prapti and Moksha through the Upanishad, Adhyaya and Sadhana. Such a beautiful are these discussions. And anything what Shankara Bhagavan explains to us, the Bhashya to mantras or Sambandha Anubandha Bhashyas or the connecting Bhashya, they're all perfectly fit at that place, required to be understood by a true, really wanting to mature student. So we'll touch that topic slowly, enter into that paragraph by paragraph. Keep it in mind. We have started doing our study of the Prathamodhyaya, Prathamaha Khandaha, Prathama Mantraha. In that Prathama Mantra, in the three Vakyas, we have seen the two Vakyas. First Vakya was Atma va idam eka eva agre asit. That we have seen. Hmm. Atma va idam eka eva agre asit. So idam means the entire world of multiplicity, agre, before creation, Atma vai asit. It was Paramatma only before creation. So what is it? Idam, the whole world of Stula Sukshma Karana Veshti Samishti. And what is it? Atma? Apnoti, Atti, Adatte, Ajaha, Ajaraha, Amaraha, and then Paraha, Sarvagnaha, Sarvashaktihi, Asanayadi, Samsara Dharma Varjitaha, Nityaha, Shuddhaha, Buddha, Mukta Swabhavaha, Advyaha. All Lakshanas of Atma, Swarupa and Tatastha, culled out from various Shastras and one place Bhagavan Shankarji put. So, therefore, keep on feeling it. Okay, this whole world of multiplicity, which is seen by us now, involving we are in it, before its expression, all of that was Atma Vastu only. Okay. Now we are deliberating on this beautiful question, relevant, and much, much more beautiful answer, most relevant by the Siddhanti. Here, where we try to delve, try to contemplate, try to understand. Some 10-12% we have understood. 100% if we can understand. So, in Veda, through this understanding of Vedanta, a big chunk of questions or doubts will be sorted out. The question is, before only it was the Atma, the whole Jagat. Is it not now the Atma? No, if you say no, yes, it is not Atma, then Atma is not at all there. Then we can't recognize and we can never realize. Therefore, inevitably, the Siddhanta has to say, no, 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 no. Not only before creation the Jagat was Atma, even now when the Jagat is manifest idam, even now also it is Atma. The Guru will have to say Siddhanti. Then that gives chance for the disciple to catch the Guru's collar and ask, then why the word asit used? Tha, abhi hai. So why are you using the word of past tense? Past tense. The answer given is no, it was that time also, it time this time, even now also. In the past, in the present, even future also. Only Atma. But for the reason for saying Asit. Okay. And now what you see the world. The difference is what? There is one Vishesha. Eka Vishesha Asti. अस्ति एकः विशेषः है कि नहीं यथा यद्यपि इदानीं सः एव एकः सः एव एकः तथापि अस्ति विशेषः ओके ब्यूटिफुल एनालिसिस ट्राई टू फोकस in trying to understand okay the thought is explained example is given again thought is completed the thought or the understanding or the vishesha mentioned is what कि before the creation, the name and form, okay, was in its source called as Atma, was called by the name Atma, okay. Before the creation, the created world was in its source with its Atma as that self only, with its being so. It has not got separated. Now, what it is there in the manifested world, Rupanama Vyakruti happened. While Rupanama Vyakriti happened, a Vishesha Rupena it is recognized without compromising with original earlier Rupa. Earlier Rupa or Nama. Like, as we saw the example yesterday, what a wonderful waves that are lashing when somebody says, no, yeah, I am also saying so excellent after appreciating him and just ask. What do you mean by seeing the wave lashing? A question is asked. Immediately says, "Arey wave, you don't you see that wave it's appearing? Arey, what is the wave actually?" If you just ask, wave, wave that is water which is appearing as wave. See what's happening in the mind? The words gimmick is starting. Water which is appearing as wave. So before the appearance of the wave, what was there? If you ask that any common sensed person, he says water only. Now when you see a still water without wave, do you call it as a wave? No, you call it water. But potentially inside that water, is there not the wave, the form to which we give the name wave? Potentially unmanifest form. You can't say no because वो हिला के देखो फूंक के देखो या कोई पत्थर डाल के देखो इन दैट स्टिल वाटर अरे यू कैन सी joy the manifested the wave is seen then we say yes the wave has come. Now the question is when wave appeared where has the water gone? When the wave appeared where has the water gone? Water never has gone anywhere, it is always there. Try to catch it, it is always there. Then what's the difference between water and wave? So the unmanifest Rupanama of the waves is called as water. Water expressing outside the unmanifest Rupanama into the manifestation is called as a wave. What we should not miss it is what? Even when you call it as wave, in and through that, what is there is water. So where is the Vishesha? Only in the Rupanama. Even now when Rupanama is there, water is very much is there in it. Therefore, Shesha Yukta Jala is the waves, Nirvishesha waves are the waters. Understood? So, in the same way, be attentive. If the example extended, it will be called as wave. But along with wave can be there, ripples are there, bubbles are there, thousand things on the wave, on the water, the tides, etc. In the same way, Paramatma alone was there before. From inside him, be attentive. From inside him, because of his infinite power and potentiality. Like Because there's so much of power and potentiality in the water, it appeared as ripples or bubbles or foam or waves or tides or breakers or cyclones, whatever you call. ये सारे पानी के अंदर का शक्ति व्यक्त हो रहा है. In so many ways, when water is expressing names and forms, water is still there in it. Water alone is there. Minus water, these appearances cannot be. This way, thoroughly drilling the example in our heart for many, many times. Then apply the same thing to the relation between the seen world and the Paramatma. So, before expression as world, Paramatma alone was there. From within, because of his infinite potentiality, we attend to. He alone is appearing in a Vishesha Rupa. Appearing in a Vishesha, not becoming. If he has become, then he cannot unbecome or go back. He's only appearing. Water appearing as wave, that's why the waveness goes away, then the pure water appears. Seen. Is it not? The bubble is only appearance on wave water. That's why when the bubble breaks, the water is continuous. So to the entire Idam Jagat, from the unmanifest, from the Paramatma, out of his infinite power, is just appearing on that Paramatma only. So Jagat is nothing but Paramatma with a Nama Rupa Visheshana. Therefore, every moment, wherever we are with whatever faculties, with whatever the Jagat we are pursuing and naming it in million forms, and seeing millions of forms, naming million ways. But all of that at any period of the time is that Parama Atma only. This has to be clearly, thoroughly understood. And if this is practiced, the subsequent thing, then tasaikshata imanu lokanu sujaiti, all that is not required. That's why we told you our Shastras are so great. In the beginning only they give the sadhana and siddhi for those uttamottamadhikari. नहीं है उत्तम अधिकारी, lot of complications are there, difficulties are there to understand because of the thickness of intellect. then उनको घुमा के फिरा के कहानियां बता के लॉजिक बता के उदाहरण बता के फिर यही ले आते हैं. That Paramatma, without going through any modification from within, some Visheshas superimposed on him by his own infinite power, is called as the seen world of millions of multiplicity. From whatever the thing which are you see, all of that. And at the time of appearing as wave, as the water never disappeared, as at the time of the appearance of the whole world, the Paramatma has never disappeared. Our problem is what? We are playing with the waves, forgetting the water. The waves are temporary. So we are playing with the world of multiplicity, forgetting the truth reality. And the world is temporary, continuously like the wave only, going on changing, going on modifying, going on even getting destroyed. And we want it with all its charmness, not to change, not to get modified, not to get destroyed. See the effort of the people maintaining the cars and two wheelers when they buy. खिंचाई करते ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा समय तक इसको खराब ही ना हो जाए. So to when they make the house, the moment you made Graha Pravesha, already the house started becoming slowly spoiled or bad. क्योंकि काल उसके ऊपर काम करता रहता है and that house which is name and form will go through the modification. अब जितने भी कोशिश करो, कोई किसी नेल नहीं करना है, कोई ऐसे खरोचे नहीं लिखना है. Your grandchild will come one day from your, he will write everything, whole Mahabharata on the wall. You can't. So too in the body, with the hair. वो fall होते हैं, then the whole women folk are worried. How to see that the hair is not falling? It's all effort, but you can't avoid. The men folk try to color it from black to white to the black and all. क्या कोशिश हो रहा है यहाँ? जो इनएविटेबल को अवॉइड करने का प्रयत्न. बट इज एनीबडी सक्सीडेड इन दिस यूनिवर्स? With all the money paid and hair transplant done, it is transplanted hair only, not original. Is it not? with all the plastic surgeries done and wrinkles removed, the inner oldie though never becomes a young, no? Are you understanding? And the old women of 70, if she wears a frock and goggles and with a vanity in the bag and vanity in the heart, if she is walking, she never becomes like a young girl. Our struggle is this. Remember, the manifested world will have to become unmanifest. In its that journey to become unmanifest, the inevitable things are the modifications which lead to the unmanifestation. But that on which this superimposed, it remains eternally the same. Water remains the same on which, right from creation till now, how many crores and crores and crores of waves have come and gone. Again, how many pots might have been made on the mud from infinite amount of time. All are broken, but mud remains. So the question was, पहले एक ही था क्या, अब नहीं है क्या? Is that world now is separate from the Atma? Only before manifestation it was one with Atma? No, no, even now also. But Vishesha Asti. So the two way of seeing is what? The manifested wave in its form was seen as water earlier. In its name it was called as water. The Vishesha is what now? Water is remaining same without its own destruction or change, but given a new rupa like a wave. Water name also is there, but a new name is given as the wave. Therefore, the rupa and nama only the Vishesha, which has not changed the original water, original the status of water being stable. याद है ना? नाम रूप परमात्मा यथातथ है ही, but a Vishesha is added. Now, if one can contemplate on this, go deeply into it, you know, he's really getting into the core of Vedanta. And that's why, in this world, anything object you take, go into the cause of it, inquiring intellectually, everything will finally be found to be that pure Sat Chit Paramatma only, which is the Lakshana of the Atma Vastu or Paramatma Vastu. Is it not? You take anything in this world, है ना? It will be found in its finermost cause as Paramatma. At the sthaya Paramatma, they were all unmanifest. Now they are just manifest. So world is nothing but manifesting and manifesting of Rupa Nama on never ever changing or perishing Parama Atma Vastu. And that Parama Atma Vastu is to be experienced as ourselves. I am that Paramatma Vastu. That Prajnanam is Brahma, that Prajnanam Brahma is me, the Atma. I am not one of the appearances or modifications on that water called as this particular setup of these Panchamahabhutas or Panchakoshas and the Jiva who is jumping in from one to the other of the Panchakoshas or three Dehas through three avasthas of Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti. ये है ज्ञान जिसको हमें समझने में पहले सॉर्ट आउट करना है, मेडिटेशनल सीट में भी सॉर्ट आउट करना है, एक्सपीरियंस करना है उसको. दैट स्ट्रगल इज कॉल्ड एज स्पिरिचुअल साधना. Siddhanta knowledge itself gives a lot of benefit to us in a way. The whole manifested world now, we stop giving it reality, we stop struggling to make it permanent. When you don't give it value reality, then you don't seek it, no? How can a banana made out of plastic can give us the trupti of eating it? When you know it plastic, you will not go to eat it. You understood? That struggle in the mind. born out of ignorance and delusion, to create desires for the world to possess and indulge in it, that notion goes away. But am I not getting ananda when I am involving in the Vishayas? Yeah, but please a correction. You are getting ananda not from the Vishayas. You are imagining it so. Ananda is from the inherent Paramatma Vastu only. Luckily for us, all these were exhaustively discussed in the Anandamaya Kosha Vicharana of a Panchakosha Viveka in our lastly studied Aitareya Upanishad. Beautiful were those very crucial thoughts. What was the thought? Let me remind for a minute. Ki when we have done Sat Karma, Punya Karma, Upasana Karma, as a result of which the people or situations or objects are sent to us outside us, the connection of which, the contact with which gives a peculiar specific thought in our antakarana, which becomes, now next sentence is important, which becomes capable of reflecting the inner Atma Ananda only as the Ananda or Sukha. The more conducive is that antakarana vritti, the more is the gradation of that reflection of happiness of the inner self. And this purification or this chastity or this ability in that vritti, the abled vritti inside, depends on the thing or being or situation outside its conduciveness. That depends on the karma which we have done of upasana, etc. Is it not? Ultimately, where is the ananda coming from which we are seeking? Is from the self. Then the question is why you go for the reflected ananda with so much of struggle of doing the upasana and punya and favoritism? अरे उसको बजाय transcend the koshas and discover your oneness with that ananda atma. Why are you struggling to get Ananda Maya Ananda Anandamaya Kosha Ananda by struggling with the Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Anomaya, and finally Ayomaya? घूम फिरा के तुमको आनंद अंदर से ही आता है ना. Then why do you go out? This is what Vedanta says. You try and see. Go beyond all the koshams and see. The Ananda is always. Hmm. So connection. वो भी thought इसको add करो, the thought will be complete. So Atmava idameka eva agre asita is this way with the Bhashya having studied. Then it is all done. Yata salilat prathak. Fena nama rupa vyakarnat prak. Salila eka shabda pratyagocharam eva fenam. Is it not? Before the name form, shape form. Here form given, we talked about wave. Before that wave or form having shape and given name, it was called with a name. It had a shape, and that name and shape is water only. Salilam. Okay. Then what happened later on presently? Ki Yada salilat pratak, as if other than the water, namarupa bhedena vyakrutam bhavati. In the Rupa Rupa, and through that Rupa a name is given called as Salila or this is Fena Bhavati. Tada, then two names have come, two forms have come to it. Salilam Fenam Chaiti Aneka Shabda Pratyaya Bhaku. Salilameva. With the name of fame and for whatever names are given, one water only is seen like that. And without missing, it's a Eka Shabda Pratyaya Bhakcha Fenam Bhavati Tadvat. You have to remember these two. In transaction, you call it as wave or foam. Though you don't mention, on a deeper asking, we say it is water. Has the waterness gone away, either the name or a form, just because wave or foam appeared? No. But in transactions, we talk as wave. But the talking as wave has so much overpowered that we are just missing to say it is basically the water. और इस फोम या वेव में मजा आ रहा है हमको, द delusory मजा. Therefore, we don't talk as water. So too, in the projected world of name and form, a delusory maja हमको आ रहा है, because of which we don't feel the need of discovering the basic Paramatma Tattva. That's all ignorance, uninformed, non-information. That's called avidya कहते हैं. What is avidya? What is there only Paramatma ultimately, and he alone is of the nature of bliss. This vidya का absence के कारण the projected world is taken as real, and from it the sukha is expected. Therefore, in that projected world, for the sake of that sukha, every type of manipulations were going on doing as karta. Okay, and that karta कर्म करने से उसका फल अलग 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 तरह का as per the सृष्टि नियम are going on hitting us. This is the big drama going on. Think more, contemplate more. The more we contemplate, the more deeper understandings come. Every deeper understanding removes that depth level of ignorance or misunderstanding. Moment the misunderstanding is going away, the liberation starts coming at the understanding level of from the understanding level of bondage. When the experience of the Atma comes, then the experience level of bondage of all limitations, all struggles, all miseries that go away. तो समझदारी के समय समझदारी के दुख दूर चले जाते हैं बंधन वाले, अनुभव के समय अनुभविक बंधन चले जाते. परमात्मा का अनुभव करो तो जीव का बंधन रूपी अनुभव जो है कि आई एम लिमिटेड बाय देश काल, I am tormented by the desires to get this or that. I am struggling to get them for all by all means, and I am thrown into this yoni, that yoni to experience what I wanted. All these experiential bondage just to get dissolved when the self is experienced as myself. Before that, at the intellectual understanding level, when the understanding is thorough, the misunderstanding led bondage that goes away. मजेदार बात. So simple words is what? Water alone is always there. Brahman alone is always there. Even now he alone is there. In future, any number of waves and foam come, still water remains. So to any number of universes, cosmoses, if you have the word to say, come and go, Parabrahma Paramatma, it remains as he is all the time. So Atma Vaidameka Eva Agre Asit seen. Then second one also we have seen. Kina Anyat Kinchana. This is very important, so much important. From the Shruti Mata standpoint, more to this Advaita Vedanta Siddhanti Bhagavan Adi Shankara. Okay, because of such sentences that I insist upon rejecting any Dvaita, ultimately in the pure Advaita Paramatma, even though at the Vyavahara level, which includes sadhana, there is a Dvaita so very important and essential. But then, Siddhanta wise, ultimately, Ekameva Dvayam alone has to be accepted. So that na anyat kinchana is the word of the main mantra. उसको लेकर भगवान शंकर कहते हैं कि न अन्यत किंचना मीन्स न किंचिदपि. मिशन मीन्स निमिषतु means vyaparavat itaradva. Mishat means that which is doing some transactions or which is not doing some transactions. So the doing transaction you can call it as the chetana yukta, non-transactional is called jada. मतलब जड़ चेतन रूपी the jagat which you see. And the jada are all these rivers and mountains. And the chetanas are these plants or animals or birds or human. दोनों मिशत means उन्मिशत निमिशत. Opening eye, closing eye. All of that indicating acting and non-acting. इन नॉन एक्टिंग और एक्टिंग रूप में जैसे हमने बताया, ये दोनों न अन्यत किंचन आर नॉट देयर अदर देन द आत्मा अग्रे बिफोर द जगत एज इट इज नाउ, बिफोर इट हैज गॉट manifested in this form. Therefore, ekameva dvayam atma or brahma is being said by this sentence. Okay. Now, what is the na anyat which you are talking? When there is no anyat, why do you talk? Is it not? The talk is done because though there is no anyat, but you are imagining anyat. Therefore, to remove your imagination, we have to say. What are the imaginations? Two schools of philosophy are touched here. One is says कि यथा सांख्यानाम नाम अनात्म पक्षपाती स्वतंत्रम प्रधानम. अनात्म पक्षपाती मीन्स अनात्मा का पक्ष का वहन करने वाला, अनात्म पक्ष का वहन करने वाला मीन्स टेकिंग द साइड बीइंग अनात्मा, टेकिंग द साइड बीइंग अनात्मा, अनात्म पक्षपाती स्वतंत्रम इंडिपेंडेंट प्रधानम, they accept the presence of pradhana. So they say the pradhana is there, it is not the atma, it is anatma, it is pratipaksha to the atma, and it is swatantra. This Purusha entangled in it becomes samsari, jiva sadhaka, samsari, dukhi atma. When he by yoga sadhana, he detaches from that pradhana. Prakriti is liberated, but that Prakriti is there swatantra rupena. That is what the Sankhya and Yoga लोगों का कहना है. भगवान शंकर कहते हैं, as per our Advaita Vedanta of the Upanishads, this pradhana of yoga or Sankhya's is not there because न अन्यत किंचन, और कुछ आत्मा के अलावा थोड़ा सा भी नहीं है. So the pradhana namaka is not there at the ultimate absolute self ekameva advayam level. So too, the second one is what? Kanadanam anavaha. The Kanada. The Kadavadi Kanada. They say the Anus were there. Anus are there all the time. Anu or Paramanu. They are Anu Siddhanti, Paramanu Siddhanti. The other than Paramatma, the Mula Padarthas of the Anu Paramana are there, from which only the Jagat happens and into which entangled the Purusha become Jiva Samsari. So when the Sankhya's call as the Pradhana, the Kanadas call as Anu. So the Sankhyon ka Pradhan kaho, Kanadon ka Anu kaho, Anyat ye na. These two things are not at all there. In the pure Paramatma, that is the meaning of na Anyat Kinchana. Mishat, living or non-living, Jada or Chetana. So, therefore, यथा च काणादानाम अणवः न तत् वत् इह अन्यत् आत्मन. इह means in this Advaita Vedanta of the Upanishad, अन्यत् आत्मनः किंचिदपि वस्तु विद्यते. So आत्मनः अन्यत् किंचिदपि वस्तु न विद्यते. किम तर्हि? So what's the conclusion? Conclusion is आत्मा एव एकः आसीत् इति अभिप्रायः. This आत्मा एव एकः आसीत् is the main mantra only. आत्मा वा इदमेक एव अग्रे आसीत्, वही पीछे घूमकर उसी में आ रहे कि आत्मा एव एकः आसीत् इति अविशेषः इति अभिप्राय. सारे. So the abhipraya of this particular anyat kinchana vichati is to say only singly, purely Atman alone was there, neither pradhana nor the anus, etc., as accepted by the Sankhya Yoga as is Kanada Darshanas. In Vedanta Darshanve, none of them are there. The अन्यत किंचन इदम आसीत, आत्मा आसीत, आत्मा एक आसीत, आत्मा एक एव आसीत. In that way, the oneness of the Atman is said. Not only that, na anyat kinchana, by saying so, even the trace of possibility of anything other than the Atma is totally rejected. In the explanation, Bhagavan Shankara took these two, the Pradhanavadi and Kadavadi, to say that Anyat Kinchana Upanishad ne kaha, therefore at that before stage, none of these were there, only Paramatma. So, as regards so many things concerned, this Veda, Yoga, sorry, Sankhya and Vedanta go together. Only at this place. Vedanta says Brahman Ekamevadvayam, in which the Prakriti Maya Pradhana is not there, but those people say it is there. The Sankhyas, they say it is there. Because even a Jivan Mukta is revolving with the same upadhis in the world. If it is not there, how can he involve? The Vedanti answers it was as much upadhis are mithya, so much his action is also mithya. लेकिन जब सपना मिथ्या है तो सपने में जो कुछ हो रहा है सब भी मिथ्या ही है ना. ठीक है. On the screen, if the fire is mithya, the fire burning that particular house, that also is mithya. है कि नहीं? Even if fire is mithya and if the burning is real, then the screen will burn there. So therefore, oh my dear Kanadas, the upadhis are mithya for a Brahmajnani, then his vyavahara also is mithya. It may be having its utility. Understood? Like the directions are mithya in the space. Space has no directions. But it helps still. And when you call something as east or west and direct somebody to go to that place, then he following those directions, he goes. Whereas directions are mithya. They are projected on space. Space is all pervading. How can you have any directions? You understand? The other example which I gave, that when one pedals the cycle, the tires are moving. That also rotating. है ना? Put that cycle on a stand and pedal करो. कहीं जा रहा है को नहीं जा रहा है. But when you put it on the surface of the earth, the tire, cycle now, you are going from one place to the other. So even though that movement is mithya, but still it is resulting. यही मजेदार बात है, that you are going from one place to the other. That is a relative things. In a stationary earth, when the round shaped an object, when it moves, it gives a illusory aspect of movement, which is actually experiential. That you really have moved from this place to that place. महामाया मिथ्या है वो, पर फिर भी अनुभव है. Very, very interesting these things. In the same way, there may be anubhava of a jnani of seeing the world, but yet it need not be real. This is how that question, how come the Atmajnani Jivan Mukta still interacting in this world for which the Prakriti is required. Therefore, that's why we are saying Prakriti is there. ये है सांख्यवादियों का. उसके लिए अभी हमने देखा द वेदांति का रिप्लाई. As much upadhis are unreal, so much the functioning in the upadhi is also unreal. Okay, everything is unreal. Like the beings are unreal in the TV screen, their behaviors, everything is unreal. Birth से death तक लगता है अनुभव हो रहा है. अनुभव आता भी है कि you seeing the hero growing, you feel happy and all. फिर भी it's unreal. The biggest thing carry home, take home point is what? Even if the experience comes, it need not be real. And why are we giving value to experience which happens only at the Indriya Mana Buddhi level? Okay? And they are not actual experiences. The actual experience is only one, Aham Brahmasmi. Everything is jhoot moot wala experience. And the experience is so funny, you know. As I told you now, I'll extend an example. With the thing happening, there may not be experience. Without a thing happening, there is an experience. Like somebody is there. An accident हो गया. Somebody came and gave the news. भाई आपके बेटे का accident हो गया. Then he has not seen, but he was told only. Then so much becomes miserable. He went there and saw that the son is very intact, very healthy. Perfect है उसको हुआ ही नहीं. So without something happening to the son, anything happening to the son, for whatever the reason, इन बिटवीन चीजों को आप निकाल दो, सफरिंग हुआ कि नहीं? हुआ ही नहीं कुछ. Another opposite very bad example. The son died only in the accident, but the news has not reached him. He is talking about the glory of the son and enjoying remembering the son. He's already dead. He doesn't know. Therefore, the miserable experience is supposed to experience at this moment because of the son's death is not going through. इश्यू तो हो गया भाई, मर गया, हो एक्सीडेंट हो, पता ही नहीं चला, तो दुखी नहीं वो, दुखी होना चाहिए ना. So the happening and अनुभूति need not have relation. जो नहीं हुआ उसको देखकर भी अनुभव हो सकता है, जो हुआ है उसको देखकर अनुभव नहीं होना भी संभव है. वेरी फनी. ऑल दिस उपाधि लेवल ड्रामा चलता रहता है ना. हाउ मेनी पीपल, है ना, लॉस्ट, द हस्बैंड और वाइफ लॉस्ट इन सब, फिर भी जिंदा है करके दे गो ऑन लिविंग थ्रू आउट लाइफ इन दैट इमेजिनेशन, whereas in the first flood only is gone. Some other place, घर से भागने के लिए चला गया वो, but these people think he's dead, but he's alive there. मौजा कर रहा है. So Anubhava is not Pramana for the existence of Jagat. Because in this Jagat, all is Upadhi Yukta only. The experiencer Jiva himself is delusion. Experiencing instruments are delusion. The world is name and form you are experiencing. That also is delusion. See, and the pure being called as self, how all these are projected and playing the play as if real, the role play, we are lost in it. यही वेदांत है, गंभीर है. After 3.5 years of listening, we are expected to have the stamina at least to listen this sentence, if not to contemplate further and break the uh, castles built out of the imaginary glass pieces. Before doing that, before gaining that ability, the first ability of listening to these very sublime truths, we are expected to have after so much of drilling or study. Then work on it, slowly devaluing the thing. Our problem is never with the world. Our problem is we have not yet experienced our own pure essential self of Brahman. So experience the Brahman, that should be the goal. Like children playing is not a problem for you when you study or doing meditation. The problem is the playing of children with so much of sound that it is disturbing. Therefore, for your meditation, japa, it's disturbing. You say that beta to chup baito. When that fellow becomes chupu, you enter into meditation. If you are deeply have entered into meditation, how much ever they chill, you don't get disturbed. So too, the child play of Maya of the created world is overpoweringly influencing us, the spiritual seekers. Therefore, we request or we try to keep it quiet for us to enter into meditation. But once you entered and recognize the self, how much ever the world of name and form chillate jaye, we are not getting disturbed because we know everything is one truth. मजेदार होते हैं सारे चीजें. हो गया. सो नान्यत किंचन मिशतु हो गया. तो द थर्ड लाइन ऑफ द फर्स्ट मंत्र इज स ईक्षत मे लोकानुसृजय इति, है ना. व्हाट इज द थर्ड सेंटेंस? स ईक्षत लोकानुसृजा इति. सह ईक्षत लोकानुसृजा इति. He has visualized. Here it is called ikshata. In Aitareya it's called as so kamayata. So ikshana kiya ya kamana kiya, same thing. So ikshata lokanu srujai iti. So he conceived or thought, let me create the world. So for what? For this third sentence, देखो, नान्यत किंचन मिशत का कंक्लूजन हो गया ना. किम तर्हि आत्मा एव एका आसीत् इति अभिप्रायः. Before the manifested world, only one Atma was there. No Pradhana of the Pradhana of this Sankhyans or Yoga. No Anuparamanu of the Kanada. Is over? हो गया. नान्यत किंचन विशद का अर्थ वो है. Before that, Atma va idameka avagre asit. Before the manifested world was manifested, only Atma was there. Even now also it is there, but how the Nama Rupa Vyakarana on the water made it be called as the wave, even the water never disappeared. So to the Nama Rupa Vyakarana on Parabrahma is the entire Jagat, even though the Paramatma is very much there, every nook and corner of the Jagat. This is done. The more the knowledge becomes stronger, then we reject the Rupanama as real. We accept the Paramatma as the real. This is called spirituality. This transformation is called Vedantic evolution. Nanyat kinchana mishat, we said. The third one, sa ikshate lokanu srujai iti. So he visualized and concept, made a thought, made an understanding, and decided ki lokanu srujai, let me create the lokas. For this, भाष्यकार जी के भाष्य के द्वारा, let us make a study for some time. It is said, saha, that Atma, be attentive, sarvagna swabhavyat, sarvagna swabhavyat, he being sarvagna, saha, that Atma, saha, sarvagna swabhavyat Atma, eka eva vasan, eka eva hasan, though he is one without second, ikshata. He just ikshana kiya, visualize kiya. The ikshana means he just thought. He manifested a thought. He created a thought. Ikshata. Now a good deep question is asked by Bhagavan Shankara only, like every Purva Pakshi is he only. And the answer for it is also very deep. These simple things in this Aitareya Upanishad are very important to be caught. Like one thing we have already seen, Nama Rupa Vyakaranadi. Here the second one. The question asked is कि ननु प्राग उत्पत्तेः, देखो बिफोर द वर्ल्ड इज क्रिएटेड उपते अकार्य कारणत्वात् कथम ईक्षितवान. कार्य और करण वर नॉट देयर नो बिफोर क्रिएशन. हाउ डिड ही डू द ईक्षा? ईक्षा मीन्स चिंतन, मेकिंग ए थॉट. So what is therefore the question of the Purvapakshi is, Purva question is, for doing the Ikshana or Sankalpa, Karya Karana Sanghata is required. Karya means Stula Sharira. Karana means Indriyas and Antakarana. Now is it not the Antakarana which does the Ikshana? And I have a mind. So in my mind a thought comes, let me make tea or coffee, or let me go there, let me talk to that person. All the thoughts are Ikshanas. No, ikshana karne ke liye we need to have the karana. That's what is our experience. So before the creation, where is the karana sangata, karya sangata? Karya is stula sharira. Karana is all the 17 aspects inside the stula sharira. Pancha jnanendriya, pancha karmendriya, pancha prana, one mana and one buddhi. ये सारे तो थे ही नहीं क्रिएशन से पहले. Then how did he do the ikshanam? Good question, no? Very good question. But the question का answer जो है, that reveals some truths, takes us to little higher, deeper understanding. This is the difference. Okay, you and I as a human beings, Jiva, we need the karana for imagination. Bhagavan doesn't need. Why? Because he's Sarvagnya. Answer is this only. Nano pragutpattehe akarya karanatvat kathamikshitavan. Answer. Na ayam dosha. No, there's no dosha in it. There's nothing wrong in it. Why? Because Sarvagna Swabhavyat. He is Sarvagna by nature, no? He is not like us that we need the upadhis of mana, buddhi or indriyas, and then through them only we get the jnana of the thing about which we had ajnanam earlier. Again, what is there? I don't know. So through the eye, I have seen and that impression in the mind, then I came to know जो एक पेड़ है वहां. तो मैं अज्ञानी हूं, मुझे कोई चीज को ज्ञान को यूज करना है. But Paramatma is Sarvagna already. When he is Sarvagna, why he needs the Karyakarana Sangata? Can you catch this? If you catch, you have become subtler. Sarvagna Swabhavyatu, he doesn't need Karyakarana Sangata for doing that Ikshana, the Chintana. Then I will give you the quotation of the Shastra. Siddhanti says, another Upanishad said, what did he say? Ki tatacha mantravarnaha. Shvetashatra Upanishad it has come. Chandogya mein bhi aaya. What is that? Apanipado javano grahita. Apanipado javano grahita. Pashyatya chakshus sashunotya karnaha. Vetasi sarvasya na swayam veti. Like that the whole Shvetashvatara, which is our next Upanishad. Aitareya ke baad Shvetashvatara. Then Chandogya. So he says Apanipadaha, without hands, without legs, but he moves so swiftly and he holds everything firmly. Pashyati achakshu, he sees without eyes. Shunoti akarnaha, he listens without ears. How is it possible? Because he is Sarvagnya, Vaya. So our inability that unless the upadhis are there, I cannot know, is not his inability. For him, being Sarvagna is enough to know everything. Being Sarvagna is enough for him to do everything. Shruti ne kaha. So therefore, your doubter that how did he do the ikshanam without having the karyakarna sangata is answered by two things. One is Sarvagna, second is the quotation of the Shastra. Ki he can do it. Saikshat. अंतःकरण के बिना भगवान ने कैसे ईक्षण किया? भगवान को अंतःकरण की जरूरत नहीं है ईक्षण करने के लिए, बिकॉज ही इज सर्वज्ञ. सो दैट पॉसिबिलिटी यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट. व्हाट डू यू आर्ग्यू हियर? जो फैक्ट है बता रहे हैं, उनका अंतःकरण नहीं है, नहीं है. बट विदाउट अंतःकरण डिड ही डू द ईक्षण? ही डिड. देयरफॉर हाउ डिड ही डू विदाउट अंतःकरण? पूछना नहीं चाहिए, उसका समाधान ही होना चाहिए कि विदाउट अंतःकरण आल्सो द ईक्षण कैन बी डन एट द लेवल ऑफ सर्वज्ञत्व. So he is Sarvagna, he doesn't need Upan. How can you go to office without scooter? You go by scooter, that doesn't mean that everybody should go only by scooter to office. कोई कार में भी जाएगा, है ना? कोई साइकिल में जाएगा, कोई पैदल जाएगा यार. You and have our limitation and we impose it on the Lord. है कि नहीं? हम कहते हैं काम मैं भी नहीं कर पाया, उसने कैसे किया? अरे, it doesn't mean you are nikamma, then others are also. So do you and I need the upadhis to know, because we are with the jiva and antakarana, which is limited in its purview of knowledge. परमात्मा ही सर्वज्ञ है. उस सर्वज्ञ परमात्मा को उपाधियों की जरूरत नहीं है. So I can't get up before 6:37. I will never agree if somebody gets at 4 o'clock. वो बंदा कहता है डेली 4 बजे उठता हूँ, मैं मानूंगा ही नहीं. You like buffalo throughout life slept 7-8 o'clock. You are this murukatha need not be pramana to say that it is impossible to get up on. He is getting up. Like all the Nastika, they are not interested in doing any sadhana because of extreme materialism and laziness and fear. Just because they have never done sadhana, therefore have not understood the Lord, never studied Shastra, saying that we don't believe in God is how bewakufi hai, murkhata hai Nastikon ka. By the way, mind you, we are also Nastika till we experience the truth. But the Astika Nastika, we are believing on the strength of this logic and Shastra, we are pursuing. Only one who experiences the Paramatma as Asti and Swarupa, he alone is real Astika. So we are all, but better we are than not rejecting Paramatma's presence and not going away from this path. We are accepting and walking this path, we are better. अनुभूति में ही हमको सारे संशयों का छेदन भेदन होता है. Clear? So in this way, स ईक्षत हो गया. न अयम दोषः सर्वज्ञ स्वभावयात् तथा च मंत्रवर्णः अपाणिपादो जवना गृह्यते इत्यादि. So what ikshana he has done? केन अभिप्रायेण ईक्षितवान् इति आह. What was his ikshana? What was his sankalpa? Ki lokan means worlds. What are the loka? Ambha prabhutin. Starting from Ambha, this Akasha. And Ambha prabhutin, Akashadin. Why? Why do you want to do the srishti of them, of which you have done sankalpa? Abhi suno. और यही कह रहे हैं हमारे भगवान आदिशंकर जी के भाष्य में, प्राणी कर्म फल उपभोग स्थान भूतान। सो प्राणी है, वो लोग कर्म करेंगे, कर्म का फल होगा, उस फल का उपभोग करने के लिए स्थान चाहिए। उस स्थान बनने वाले, स्थान को बनाने के लिए जो बेसिक मटेरियल है, दैट इज स्थान भूतान नो सृजई सृजे अहम इति। So let me create those lokas which are the places or abodes for the pranis to experience the phala of their karma. Now, this is two things. Therefore, as long as an individual or total has the karmas to be done, so long the srushti of these amba praprati will happen. Just imagine the pranis have stopped all the karma by discovering their identity for the with the Paramatma. There's no need of their karma and karma phala, therefore loka srushti. Therefore, the srushti of the loka Paramatma done is not for himself or he got bound, it is for you and I, for us to go through the experiences of karma, what we have done to come out of it. I know some very beautiful, subtle questions, doubts will come when we discuss this, and what it is. Tomorrow we'll rise at, and we'll 5 minutes we'll conclude. Then we enter into the second mantra, in which what are the lokas he has created. So the lokas, then the lokapalakas, then the ayatanam for them to stay, as well as the annam for them. All of that Paramatma created. And he himself enters into it. And he only becomes Jiva. Then he goes on suffering. Then he himself contemplates. In the contemplation, he discovers two things. One, he is not this which is suffering, he is the Brahman. And second, the whole world in which he is there and suffering, he understands even that also is not that way real. That also is Brahman. He is liberated. So, Adhyaropa and Apavad. This Upanishad, in this guidance, in this way, it takes us. So from the Srin Srushti to the Srushti Karta we go to. In the Srushti Karta, by understanding his nature, we come to know that he cannot be Srushti Karta. Therefore, when he is not the Srushti Karta, there is no Srushti. When the Srushti is not there, but still it is experienced or seen, that is called as the Mithya. And how come that Mithya appears? Because of the Maya. Then is that Maya really there? You can't say it is there or it is not there. In the pure self, it is not there. And in the Jagat, when you see as its cause, it is very much there. Therefore, our drishti is neither on Maya nor on the world created by the Maya. Our drishti is beyond the Maya and the creation. Discover identity with the Paramatma, which is infinite, subtle most, and has nothing other than him to influence. This is how the Vedantic vision of sadhana and siddhi, all in the intellectual understanding, then going beyond the intellect to experience what is understood. ये सब कुछ अलग ही सूक्ष्म लोक होता है वेदांत का अध्ययन का. Once we enter into that loka and expand our thinking, contemplation, then all what we were living at the very gross level, taking the world as real, will be slowly getting fizzled in its reality. It appears but no more as real. मजा आएगा वो वाला जिंदगी. कल देखते हैं हम दिस सेकंड वाला मंत्र, व्हाट ही हैज क्रिएटेड. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परमर्षिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे ओम तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Just in this way for some time listen. जितना ग्रास्प हो सके करें. Again back to your routine. Slowly reduce unwanted involvements which drain away our mind intellect, which create the habit of distraction, which will, you know, it doesn't, which will obstruct our desire to know the truth. तो उन मैनेजमेंट्स को करते हुए आउटर वर्ल्ड में एवरी टाइम प्रतीक्षा फॉर अवर नेक्स्ट sitting for study or contemplation or next sitting of listening, we have to prepare our mind to wait for it. Just like I told you in the earlier days, jaldi kaise khatam ho jaye class so that I can go and make my breakfast and eat food. At higher level of sadhana, jaldi finish the minimum required breakfast or tea coffee and quickly go back to the chamber and laboratory of Upanishadic study to do the research, to do the contemplation, to understand meaning of the words and shloka. तो उसमें बार बार है ना, ऑल दीज साइंटिस्ट आर लाइक दैट. 2 मिनट के लिए बाहर आके जो चाय पी लेते, उस चाय पीने के दौरान भी देयर माइंड इज व्हाट दे आर कॉन्टेम्पलेटिंग ऑन द दैट साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल. हो गया 2 मिनट का लगा दी काफी कप, हाथ धो लिया, दे गो बैक अगेन. In that way, when we become in our life totally engrossed in the Vedantic Vicharana, understanding comes. If you are now understanding coming, but the understanding should remain stationarily deeply to remove all the misunderstandings and misunderstanding led misdoings. बार बार अभ्यास करने से ये शक्तियां जागृत होते हैं. थैंक यू. मे बी ऑल दैट वे encase this great opportunity of being blessed by the Guru Parampara, Devata Parampara, in getting this Upanishadic Jnana to near to the truth in the understanding and merge in experience. That none of our doings or the world's happenings distract us from this path whatsoever.